Broadcast is brought to you by the National Beat Baseball Association on the web at www.nbba.org. We're here going to the top of the seventh inning from the Mohawk Sports Complex with Tim Hibner and Jerry Wendell giving you play-by-play and commentary. And we are in the midst of getting rain, so both teams are experiencing the same conditions. Not the greatest conditions for a beat ball game, but as long as there's not thunder and lightning, we're good.
You know, Dave Benny posts many games up on Beatball Nation as classics. This one right here will go down as an all-time classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're watching history here.
Yeah.
This absolutely has been one of the best championship games that we've had in recent memory. It's unfortunate that this game is going to end one way or the other under these kind of weather conditions.
Agreed.
Well, you can say that again.
Yo, this is Set Ready Ball, the Jet Life podcast. This is Richie, the big noise of beat baseball Flores, bringing you the journey of the 2019 season for San Antonio's only blind baseball team, your San Antonio Jets. We left you on the last episode, mid-game to championship Saturday, Jets versus Thunder, where we had to win 2 games to become kings of beat baseball. Enjoy what I have here, and then I'm going to bring some of my teammates on to kind of complete the season.
Thunder has put 3 on the board to start the top of the 5th to go ahead 11-9.
It's up in the air. It's in the middle of the field.
He's out.
Oh, Axel Cox with a great play. That was amazing. That was way up in the air. When it bounced up, he leaned out over the ball and captured it and just kind of collapsed on the ball. That was amazing. Used his whole body like a glove and just kept the ball underneath of him and then got it up for the out. It's on the ground.
Oh, Richie
Hit him in the chin.
Wow.
He did get it up. Man, that was a good
Big
recovery
play.
by Richie. That hit Richie hard. I'm telling you, it hit him in the chest and chin and ricocheted off. And he was on it. I mean, he went over there and jumped on that ball. Richie shuts that inning down.
Yeah.
Substitution here. It looks like Lupe Perez is coming in for Renee.
Oh, he did. He crushes one. It bounces over the third level. They're trying to chase it down, and Lupe's on the base.
That should be tied 11, yes, Steve, with 1 out, bottom of the 5th.
All right, there's a pop fly over on this side of the field. 23's on it.
He's out.
He got it out.
Oh, wow.
23 got over to it. He circled around a little bit and then got in front of it and he got it up. They call that an out. Bottom of the 7th. And
18-14.
18-14's the score. Takes 5 to win. I seen a guy do that once. I watched him.
Who would that be, Tim?
I don't want to say. I like the guy a lot, so I don't want to brag.
Grounder over to Eric Rodriguez. It's about 50 feet.
So
he comes
right there.
in. He's safe. He went to pick up the ball, slipped out of his hands, and by the time he grabbed it back, Aaron was on the base. Grounder to Rodriguez. He's over.
No, he didn't get
pick it up. He didn't pick it up. No. He didn't pick it up, did he?
He called him safe. The umpire called him
He
safe.
did not pick it up.
He didn't have control.
Absolutely. He did not pick it up.
He's going.
16.
That could be I'm going to mark that down on my score sheet because that could
Be a real
critical-
turning point of the game.
Sends it back to
He
the
got
top of the
over
order.
it. He fumbled a little bit. He did not get it up in control, and they made the base. That's just how it goes. Once again, we're talking about the wet ball.
Yeah, I don't know how that wasn't picked up.
Well, it's a wet ball.
Oh no, Timmy, I understand that. It's just it looked like he had it in plenty of time, but it never came off the ground.
Well, the fantasy football season is over. The beat ball hangover is over. As I record this, Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. So it just means that it's time to put 2019 in the books, have a New Year's resolution to move forward. But before we do that, I've got Dave Benny Demetrius Morrow and Axel Cox to offer their takeaways for the season. I hope you enjoy listening to this. And wait till the end. There's some interesting hot stove news.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Everybody, get ready, because up to bat, we've got DB, Demo, and Cox up.
Well, when you talk about Saturday, when we lost 30-28 on Friday to the Thunder, I think we thought, even as we were playing Boston, that if we could get to see the Thunder again, play them in the championship game, that we could beat them twice. And I think we still thought that on Saturday morning, but there was a couple of differences between the game on Saturday and the game we played with them on Friday. And the first was that it was raining. The weather was bad for that game. And unfortunately, it cleared up right after the game. And they had moved the game up to 8 o'clock because the forecast was calling for bad weather. And it came a little bit earlier during our game. And I think that affected both teams.
Rain's coming down pretty hard now.
It was a little bit sloppier game.
Oh, Richie ran, but the ball looked deeper than it was. It was actually a 100-foot pop-up. And
He circled the ball and then come back on it. And it was just a little bit too late.
Neither team really played at its highest level.
Yeah. So we're in a real dogfight here.
Going into this round at bats, the first two batters for the Thunder, 3 for 10. Who would have ever thought it?
It's a grounder.
R3.
It's
under Richie. I don't know whether that was away from his body.
And I think we had every chance to win that game.
And we have a one-run game with it being 13-12 Jets with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
We got a little hopper.
There's
Not gonna
a
make.
foul.
It doesn't make 40. Doesn't make 40. So Richie was at the 40-foot line before the runner was. Richie's wanting this game pretty bad.
And we just didn't close the deal.
Kyle Lewis is going to have to score here to extend the game to the bottom of the 6th, or we'll be going into a second game. He lives on power.
He's got it up in the air. He's fast enough.
Safe.
Going to the bottom of the 6th inning from Mohawk Sports Complex. 2019 Beat Baseball World Series Finals between Indy Thunder and San Antonio Jets. Indy Thunder have the lead right now at 14-13. San Antonio needs 2 to win, and then we will go into a second game.
We've got Axel, Lupe, and Zach, the first 3 hitters, so it's going to be difficult for the Thunder to shut them down, to either send it to extra innings or else the game's going to be over. He's gone. Oh, he's
Clean
down
miss.
on strikes.
Wow.
Clean miss.
That is the 9th strikeout of this game for the Jets. He's down. We're going to extra innings, folks.
Wow.
Wow.
I
That
don't
was the-
recall the last finals where we're going to extra innings.
I don't either, Steve. I do not recall that.
That was the 10th strikeout by Kevin Simpson in this game. He goes down on strikes.
Yep.
How many strikeouts did Jared in this game?
I'll count them up for you. Jared only has 4, so it's 10 for Kevin, 4 for Jared.
Zach hurting his hand and not being able to take his at-bat in extra innings, I think that was a tough break for us. No excuses. We had our chances to win that game, and we didn't close the deal. And I think the Thunder were a little bit more experienced and handled the weather conditions maybe a little bit, just a tad better than we did.
Yeah, so they pulled Zach, and we got D up.
Demetrius Morrow, also from the Colorado Storm.
Oh, almost got it.
Wonder-
His timing's good.
And that is the World
I
Series.
missed the strike there. That's okay.
11 strikeouts for Kevin, but that gives the Indy Thunder their 4th championship, defeating the San Antonio Jets in the 2019 Beat Baseball World Series 18-16 in 7 innings.
I think we were the only team all year that stayed within 5 runs of them. And we played them 4 times throughout the season. The fans and the spectators deserved to see a second game that day, and it cleared up after that. That game would have been played in sunshine, and that was, to me, the worst part of not closing the deal and finishing that game, is that I think Beat Baseball should have had 2 games between the Jets and Thunder on Saturday. I think, again, it was there for the taking. And if we win that game and the Thunder lose, they're probably saying the same thing, that it was right there for the taking. Both teams, it was an intense, hard-fought game, but both teams made some mistakes.
Solid input, DB. As per always, talk to us a little bit about some takeaways for 2019.
The upside to what the Jets are doing is I think we've got some guys that are still developing. I think Will Lopez is still getting better on defense. I think David Smith is improving on base running, just as examples. I think Aaron Almanza came a long way on both sides of the ball. If I had to pick a most improved player for the season, it'd probably be Double-A. And he's getting the defensive part of the game down and putting the ball in play consistently. And so I think for the first time in the 4-year history of the Jets, we could match the Thunder 6 for 6 in their starting lineup. And so I think those guys need to just keep doing what they're doing. But the Jets are right there. We gave probably the best beat baseball team in a generation all they could handle. And I think we really treated beat baseball and the public in Oklahoma to really the best beat baseball has to offer. I don't know that I've seen 2 teams play at a higher level than I did the Thunder and the Jets. And we did it twice. And so I think we're right there, Richie. I really do.
Exactly. The commentary right after the game by Corey White really proves just how close we were, how much respect the Thunder are giving us.
Corey, what's going through your mind right now? Your 4th title in 4 years?
It's crazy, man. The Jets is a crazy team to play, man. They're so good. I love playing them, man. The Jets is just incredible, bro. They had me so nervous yesterday and today.
Yeah.
And I believed in us, though. I believe that we can come out on top. And I got out there and I did my part. My team played their part. And we got the dub.
Hey, yo, Demo, why don't you weigh in on your ride with the Jets in 2019 and some takeaways from Saturday?
So, I've been playing since 2003, and Saturday after the banquet, we have this thing we call midnight ball, where like all the great pitchers of the league come out at midnight and pitch to any batter that wants them to pitch to them. And for me, I would, typically go for Kevin just because Kevin's Kevin. he's if not the best, one of the best. I guess him and Frank Medina would be considered the best pitchers in the history of the game. And so joining up with the team, I was like, I'm all down for hitting off Kevin in real games that matter. I went down there for practice in July, and I think that's where we found it. That's where we found the connection, and we just carried that over to the World Series, and it was sweet. It was sweet. I mean, lots of shots and runs or whatever. I think I had my best. I did have my highest batting average in the World Series tournament this year, hitting off Kevin. It was great playing with the team. I loved it. I enjoyed my 2019 season.
I like to just tell you we definitely enjoyed having you for 2019 and you bringing down that positivity from Colorado to join Jet Life this year. You helped us out a lot, and not only on the field but off the field with the the video and audio commentary with your girl Andrea and that beautiful family with their big hearts. Just big ups to you, man. We appreciate having you. Hopefully 2020 is just as profitable for you with the big game hits. Tell me a little bit about takeaways from the season and from Saturday.
As far as Saturday goes, I mean, like DB said, there was some factors, early start time, weather. But I think the thing that separates us from the Thunder is their starting 6. Offensively, 1 through 6, we're right there with them, 1 through 6. But it's that defense side of the ball, and defense is what wins championships. And 1 through 6, they have a stronger defense than we have right now. just because we have guys who are developing, guys who new to the game, 2, 3, 4 year starters. Once those guys take that next step, continue the growth that they've been showing since they started, yeah, we'll be right there with the Thunder. We'll be able to match up with them offensively and defensively. And then I think we'll have all the ingredients.
Awesome, yeah. Ingredients, buddy. That's what we're trying to put together, the whole recipe here of what it takes to become champions of the world and beat baseball. We came close. And now I'd like to throw it over to the El Capitan, Axel Cox, and ask him what's really been weighing on me, and that's, how do you think I did, brother? You know, this self-serving podcast of ours here a little bit. How did Richie Flores perform when his number was called?
As far as how you did, I mean, I think your performance on that Saturday in the championship game pretty much like epitomized like our team as a whole for the whole season. So we went to a lot of tournaments, or not, as many tournaments as we could. We didn't always have a full squad, but what we did have was that determination and that quote unquote next man up mentality. And so when it came out that our other shortstops, they had a bit of a hip flexor problem, and that Saturday morning it was a wet morning, and it was going to be hard to track for traction and stuff. So it could have caused more of a problem for him. So that decision was made to put you in that shortstop. You went in there and you didn't miss a beat, man. You went in there and held your own and did what we knew you could do. So you did good, and you rose to the occasion. And yeah, you played the way the Jets play, but leaving it all on the field.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. It was an honor and a privilege. I'm ready to do it again in 2020 if called upon and if needed. How about takeaways for the season?
From a team perspective, man, I'm proud of my team. I love the progress that we made. I've said it before, both off the record and also on the podcast. I've talked about how our team has started from a bunch of dudes who never played beat ball mixed in with a couple of veterans, and to in 2019 making the championship game. No longer those dudes who don't really have experience in beat ball mixed in with a couple of vets. We're all vets now. So I'm proud of the way our team played throughout the year at the different tournaments, and the way we played throughout the World Series and the championship game on Saturday. Taking off the team captain glasses and me just thinking about it individually, I mean, I'm disappointed, man. Like, of course, I would have loved to have won a championship. I can speak for our team in saying that we know we had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had it in our grasp, and we could envision the rings being put on our fingers. I want to be different in that I want to make it back there, and I want to win that title. I don't want to just let that be our plateau. Moving forward for the 2020 season, it wasn't asked of me, but I'm saying I want to go ahead and just take that next step, man. We've been moving further and further up the ladder. Started off 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Now we need to make that jump and go ahead and dethrone those guys that have been on top since we've been in existence. Since the Jets have been a team, the Thunder have been on top.
Let's do it. Man, it's been a pleasure playing with you pretty much the majority of my career, minus 1 year. 4 championship games with you on the field. It's been a privilege and one of the joys in my life to share that experience with you, with Zach. I've known you guys for 10 years plus, and Beat Baseball has definitely brightened up our relationship, our friendship, our brotherhood, and it's my hope that you're right. In our existence as the Jets, we started off as 5th in 2016, 4th in 2017, 3rd in 2018, and we got 2nd last year. And it only makes sense that we return to Ames, Iowa, where we inaugurated the Jets and complete that ladder, not let this be our plateau, but reach the top of the mountain. One other thing I wanted to take note of, as far as I'm concerned with the takeaways for 2019, is Kevin was out there spotting on Championship Saturday, and he took the field also, I believe, in the third place elimination game when we took out Boston, and he came out spotting. And that's one thing that not a lot of teams, especially on the top 5 level, have a pitcher that is pulling double duty. And so I believe we're still working on consistent spotting, developing not only our blind players, but our sighted volunteers who take the field and are part of the magic that happens on the field. DB, can you speak to that a little bit?
I'll give you an example. The Thunder, who of course have won the last 4 championships, they have virtually the same crew, player and field volunteer, as they had in 2016. They've had the same spotters on the same side, and they go 4 deep with their spotters, same pitcher, same catcher, same bench crew, and same players. And they practice together all the time, beginning in January with indoor and then starting outdoor in like April. And you get to a point of stability with an organization like that, the game management is second nature. And I think we're still trying to train volunteers to get them to the point, think about who the Jets spotters were in, say, 2016 versus now. We've had Kevin and Rod, but once we can get that core 4, your pitcher, your catcher, and then 2 spotters that are there time after time after time, I think that really helps the defense. I agree with Demo. I think that the Thunder's defense across the field, 1 through 6, is probably a little bit stronger than ours is, even still. But I don't think that's because necessarily they have better athletes or their players have better ears for the ball or anything like that. I really do think the consistent spotting makes a difference. And I think if you'd ask any of those guys, the Miguel Tellos of the world, or the Zach Buellers or the Corey Whites, they would probably tell you that spotting does make a difference. And so I don't think there's any question about it, Richie. You're 100% correct that having consistent field volunteers to go along with the great athletes and having people with high sports IQs that know the game when it's time to switch up a right-handed hitter for a left-handed hitter or something like that. That's all important to have, and the great championship teams I think have always had that, including the Blackhawks when you were there.
And in the spirit, creating some consistency, and now in the off season when players move or there's some change within rosters, DB, how about you let the cat out of the bag and make the announcement on the new San Antonio Jet?
Okay, yeah, so we picked up Cindy Ledbetter, Cindy from Indy, as a lot of us call her, who's been with the Indy Thunder. She's been the backup, usually right field spotter. She'll come in and spell Mariah, I almost said Brown, Mariah Woodard at some points as their right field spotter. And she's been spotting, I think the first time I remember her at a World Series with us was maybe in Georgia in 2013. So she's been, and she'd all those years with the Thunder. And she's a really good spotter. And I'll tell you what else she's really good at is keeping score and keeping track of game on the side. She's got a good high sports IQ, and she's been around beat baseball now long enough that she knows the game well enough that she can combine the two, and she's just a really good just a really good beat baseball person, but a really serviceable spotter too. She was a backup for them, but she will be the most experienced spotter other than Kevin that we have. She'll fit in perfectly with Jet Life. All right, my girl's calling. I got to roll.
Oh, gee.
Need anything
all right,
more
man.
from me?
I think we're good, DB.
Right. Jet Life.
Jet Life, buddy. Wow, DB has a girl.
Sure, right?
Yeah. That's new. Whoa.
We can't
Yeah,
do that
we'll
on the
leave that in
podcast.
there.
DB had a girl.
No, we can't. Whoa. Just
Breaking news. Breaking news. DB has a girl.
breaking news.
You guys heard it here
DB.
first. You guys heard it here first.
Oh, what a way to end 2019 on a high note. DB has a girlfriend. The Jets have a new spotter. And we ready for that 2020. From the bottom of our hearts to the top of our bats. Happy New Year, everybody. Jet Life.